The number one reason why people do not wear synthetic wigs is tangling. Look at how straight the comb is going through it. From the front, you would not know that this is a T-part.
Scratch mixed it.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. As you can tell from the beginning, we are doing a synthetic wig today. Now y'all know this is the first synthetic wig to ever get on this channel, so I was super excited for this video. It is from the company Gorgius-Hair. It is their 22-inch T-part handsome bossy unit. This is what it looks like, you know, fresh out the packaging. This was actually like my first time looking at the wig, like when I unboxed it for this video. I had no prior viewing of this wig except for when I first unboxed it, but look at that wig cap. I had it on a 90-degree day. It was perfect. When I tell you it was breathable, I was wearing it even though I was hot. Like I didn't feel like it was too heavy. And then these are just some goodies that I got: some clips, bobby pins, you know, edge brush, and then tweezers and an adjustable wig cap. Now, although I'm very thankful that they sent me tweezers, y'all know when I'm plucking, I have a special set that I like to use because that goes fast. So I'm parting the hair away. I'm doing a different plucking method. I'm actually starting from the back. I seen this technique on TikTok, so I was like, all right, I gotta try it. I like how when they did the T-part, it wasn't like just a little bit of space at the front. There's enough space for you to pluck it and customize the front, but there's also just the right amount of lace to that. If you need to wash it, you don't have to do a whole bunch. Going in with my detangling brush every time after I pluck, just because my human hair wigs tangle when they are in the plucking process as well, and because this is synthetic, I figured why not just use the detangler brush. It's way easier and it's faster. And I'm also doing the pluck and skip method, so I'm plucking back, like I'm going about like a centimeter as I'm plucking, and then I'm skipping a section going over to the next. Now this is not the fork method, but it's like more closer together. As you can see, it gives a more natural look. And then I'm parting the hair more, going towards the front, so that way I can see what it looks like from the back, and I don't have to wait till I'm done to see like what's left at the front. So right there, it looks good. My only issue is that like it looks like a line at the front, so I'm just gonna break that up a bit by plucking a few hairs right out of the very first row, and then after that I think I'm satisfied. Look how beautiful that looks when it is all done. Now after I pluck the entire hairline, look at how much the wig is moving. Yeah, 22 inches. I went ahead and parted out my edges already because I already knew what I wanted to do. I kind of gave it like a widow's peak type of look, but first, before we install it, I am gonna, you know, draw my edges back. Y'all could tell my hair grew out. It's okay. I'm gonna go home and get my hair washed next weekend, don't worry. But right here, I am just blow drying my edges back so that way they're underneath the cap and I don't have to worry about them during the install. The wig does come with layers, as you can see from right here. And then I'm going in and I'm just gonna start installing it. I am using spray today. It didn't take me a lot of effort to install it actually. I just cut it in sections, and then since it's a T-part, it was mostly just focusing on the middle. Now right here, I don't know why this section would not go behind my ear for nothing. So I ended up cutting it off camera. Right here, I'm cutting the ear tabs. Ear tabs are pretty easy to cut for me. I didn't really need to do a lot since there wasn't like as much lace. I wasn't worried about cutting what I shouldn't because everything was already mapped out for me. And then this is the side view, and I'm just gonna do the same thing to the ear tab on the other side. So as I'm cutting the lace, I'm just doing the zigzag method. That's pretty much what I always do. I made sure to take back the edges that I had parted out already, and then I'm pulling that back. I didn't put any makeup on the wig cap since it's a T-part. I don't really need any makeup because it's not going to show white throughout it, and I'm only doing one little part, so I don't need to put makeup on the wig cap. After I finished cleaning the top of my forehead, y'all already know what I'm about to go in with. That is my Even spray. Listen, this spray, it does its job, and I feel like using spray will be better for this wig since I haven't washed it yet. So I just figured it's gonna be better and easier to take off when I want to wear it again, just pop it right back on. So I did about 2 to 3 layers of spray, and then I blow dried it just to make sure that it was like nice and tacky. I stuck my finger on it for like a pull test. It was pretty good. After it gets like that nice, you know, very like putty, like sticky consistency, I went ahead and just laid it down right where I wanted it, and then I pulled my edges over so that way they wasn't stuck like going back like the rest of the hair was, if that makes sense. And I'm using the end of my rat tail to melt that in. We are all done with that. I did the same exact thing to the other side off camera, just because, you know, y'all saw me cutting it. I ain't do no special technique, and I'm just going in again. I did 2 layers of spray, and I'm blow drying it and just sticking that down exactly like how I did the first section. Before we get to the sides, I'm just twisting up that hair in the front because I hate when there's hair in my face and I can't really see what I'm doing. After I twist that up, I am gonna go ahead to the sides and just cut however I want to cut. I didn't think I needed to really, you know, go in and cut perfectly. It wasn't needed. The lace melted perfectly fine with me just cutting straight at the sides, and I think that's because I put a good amount of foundation. So after my 2 layers, I'm gonna wait till that's tacky, blow dry it, and after I spread it out, I'm just going to use my fingers and stick that section down. Using the tip of the comb is so helpful when you're doing installs like this because it just works. Look at how pretty that looks on the side that's already finished. Look at those layers. Yeah, so we're about to get straight to the other side. After I finished the lace on the other side, I made sure to just go in and stick it down once more. I don't know what it is about sticking it down. It just does it for me. And then when I cut the edges were the only difficult part for me. And I think it's because synthetic hair, since it is synthetic, it won't absorb the product like human hair does. It kind of just sits on it. So I had to figure out like a different technique because I put mousse on there, but I forgot, you know, the mousse isn't going to dry out. It's just going to sit there for a little bit. So I was wondering why my edges weren't laying down. Now, when I use the spray worked a lot better. So I suggest using spray for it. I want to give a round of applause to Gorgius Hair for the way that this wig melted. Look at how, like, you can't see anything of the lace. You don't see it at all, because a lot of synthetic wigs, they have this like ashy, not very cute lace. I don't know why. This just looks really good. So we're gonna do the edges on this side the exact same way that I did them before, because listen, I didn't learn till the end of the video, but I used the high hold spray. That worked a lot better for the edges. So like I said, just use spray, because when I redid them in the morning, it worked better to just use spray. And then I'm just gonna be flat ironing out that like slightly curled look that came with it, because it is straight but it came like layered. I wanted it to just be bone straight, so that's how I did it, and we are all done.
Alright, I gotta give it to Gorgius Hair. The #1 reason why people do not wear synthetic wigs is tangling. Now I'm gonna show y'all. This is a tiny tooth comb. Now of course there is some shedding, which I think is normal because the wig is extremely thick. But look at me just putting my hands through it. Even though it's completely thick, just look at how straight the comb is going through it. Even if it does tangle, it's not hard to get out, which is why I'm like, that's crazy, because most synthetic wigs, the moment that you even move them to the side, they're bad, and you usually can't use these type of combs to detangle. So look at this. This looks so nice. Let me fix my necklace, hold on. So this is made from a different type of fiber. This is their premium fiber, which is supposed to be like, you know, anti-frizz, very human-like. Also, it doesn't tangle, or the tangles are very easy to come out if it does, because all hair tangles, but this doesn't tangle as bad as other synthetic wigs, I would say. I think this is like the 3rd synthetic wig I've ever had in my life. but the lace for this one definitely melted the best. I'm impressed because usually synthetic wigs, the lace is like, I don't know, the lace is like ashy. This, when it first came, I was like, oh my gosh, it's a T part too. So I don't know, this from the front, you would not know that this is a T part, especially because of how they did it. There's enough space to customize and like pluck and really go back, but you also have enough space where you could just be minimalistic. You don't have to do too much, which is something that I like. It's very easy to install. I also think it's easy to wash since there isn't much lace. So you could just scrub it, get the glue off, and then put it on right back if you don't want to wash it too much to, like, you know, get it tangled in water. This is their 22-inch handsome bossy unit. I don't know why that's the name, but you know, I'm kind of feeling it. It's not stiff. That's another thing that I like. It does move. Oh my gosh, I remember when I was in like, I think it was like my sophomore year of high school, I had a synthetic wig and it was stiff. Like, I'm talking like it looked like one big dread. Like, it's moving. I like this. The wig is 22 inches in total. It does catch me like right above my butt. I would say this is a pretty long wig. It might look short just because I have the layers in the front and the rest of the hair in the back, but it is a pretty long wig. It's from their One Brush Stylist collection, which is like, you know, it just takes one brush and that's it. That's all you need to fix it, which is what I love this. I didn't think I was gonna like it because, you know, I'm scared about synthetic wigs. I feel like everybody's scared about synthetic wigs, but the market is definitely getting better because when I was wearing synthetics, there was no wigs like this that didn't tangle. The wig is very, very light on my head. I will give it that. You guys saw that like breathable mesh cap that they had. It doesn't feel like too much. Today was 95 degrees and putting this on, I have my window open now because it's so hot, but my head isn't sweating or nothing. Like, I don't feel like I have a whole bunch of heaviness on my hair. That's another thing with a lot of synthetic wigs. The fiber is very heavy. This one is lightweight, which is also why I think it moves so well. It's like, you know, it's not too much. It's not sitting down on your head. So that's another thing. So you guys saw that I did my heat test of 300 degrees. One of the features on the website stated that it can take about 320 degrees Fahrenheit to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. I only used 300 and that was enough to get it like straightened how I want it, because you guys saw how it came kind of like a little bit loose curled when it first came. I only needed 300 degrees, so you don't need a lot of heat to style this hair. That's another thing, because you know, a lot of synthetic wigs, they don't take a lot of heat, but this one can take up to 360, which is pretty good. Because the wig has a medium breathable cap, it is a lot easier to put on, especially because when you tighten it, there are adjustable straps. When you tighten it, instead of it being like scrunched up like how regular you know, wig caps are, since it's breathable, it actually tightens because it's made out of just straight elastic pieces, and it doesn't feel like it's loose on my head. It's actually very fitted because I have a small head, y'all know that. So those are just some key features about the wig. Once again, this is a handsome bossy unit from the company Gorgius Hair. Make sure you check out the description box below as they are having a sale. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.